we have the first trailer for the Michael Jackson biopic. It arrived and it came out of nowhere. I didn't know when we were getting this. There's been so much talk about this movie, whether it's rights issues, whether it's going to be part 1, part 2, what can the movie include, what can it include, but it's hitting theaters April 24th, 2026, and we have the trailer. And Ricky, we're going to start with the trailer today. What was your impression after you saw from the producer of Bohemian Rhapsody? You have all of the costumes, you have all of the poses, you have all of the songs and the iconic moments that they're reflecting in this trailer. What was your impressions after seeing it?
Yeah, no, just to kind of echo what you were saying before too, just to start off, this is a week checkup this week. So this was a gift that we got this. And for a movie that's been so quiet about the king of pop and arguably the biggest star in the 20th century, musician, I should say, star or music star, it has been so quiet. Also with a Miles Teller, also with a Coleman Domingo, which he was featured very briefly, but I didn't even focus because I was looking for the old Michael. So I didn't even get to focus on that. So is there going to be a sequel? Is there going to be 2 parts? There's so many questions here. It looks like it's going to be 1 part, 1 movie. That's what it looks like. It looks like they're going to go through his whole life, and it looks like they're just feeding us the slop. It looks like they're just going to try to give us every quote unquote best bit about this life of Michael Jackson from his childhood in the Jackson 5 all the way up to his death. There, and I think you tweeted it out to perfection. Yeah, this makes sense. This looks like the producer of Bohemian Rhapsody is behind this. And they made sure they made that aware in the first 20 seconds of this teaser. So they're going to show us every single era of Michael Jackson performing, every single song. They fed us 5 Michael Jackson songs in this 1 minute teaser. They gave us 5. That should tell you a lot. And honestly, I think for a guy that's now very polarizing and a movie that's very, question marks, feed us the slop. This is the right move to do. So I'm actually happy with what I saw, even though at first you're thinking, oh, Miles Teller, Coleman Domingo. You're thinking, oh, maybe are we going to see an Oscars movie? No. We are going to see a slop movie. And I think that's actually the way to go for a Michael Jackson biopic today.
I was anticipating a little bit of a polarizing conversation, maybe a disagreement amongst us, because this is such a polarizing figure and the things that happen in his life. It seems like people can separate the art from the artist, but can everybody? No, you can't really count on that. So I agree. This is the right approach where they're giving you the hits. They're giving you like the MTV Music Awards stuff. They're giving you Thriller, and they're recreating Thriller. They're giving you Jackson 5. They're giving you the standing on the tiptoes. They're giving you the sunglasses, the glove. They're giving you what made the artist so iconic. That's what it feels like. That was my main takeaway, where I knew this was Bohemian Rhapsody-esque, even without saying from the producer of, because it looks so glamorous. It's shiny. It's not going into the deep darkness, it appears, of Michael Jackson. And this has an April release. It doesn't have the Deliver Me From Nowhere Bruce Springsteen release we just got. It's not Complete Unknown Bob Dylan a year ago. This seems like it's not hungry for awards, And something else I wanted to add. To have Jafar Jackson playing Michael actually is a pretty good decision, in my opinion. It's a nephew of Michael Jackson. I think it is the son of Jermaine Jackson that is the star of this movie. And there was a TV movie about Michael Jackson, and it was a white performer that was performing, playing Michael Jackson in the TV movie. And that met so much backlash. When you have something where it's a member of his family playing him, I think you could still receive a little bit of backlash if you go into the 90s and you go into like whiter Michael, with what was going on with his skin. But I think having him play the character is fine. As long as, and I think it's going to be a total impersonation. Like, I don't anticipate it's like, okay, are we going deeper to find out who Michael Jackson truly is? No, he's just literally impersonating Michael Jackson to give you the replaying of iconic moments for people that have been waiting on a Michael Jackson biopic. So I don't hate the casting. I don't honestly think this is going to be a breakthrough performance for this actor. Like, maybe if he's a really great impersonator, it could lead to something else. It's an opportunity for him because I don't think he has much on his resume. but I don't mind the casting based on the movie that we're getting.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say. If you're giving me a feed the slot movie, if you're feeding me, hey, this is going to be just half of it's probably going to be on stage performing and whatnot, or in the studio, then just give us someone that is an impersonator. Because if you're not going in depth in the character study, development, and whatnot, then we don't need a serious actor, you know? And we rather have someone that's going to pay homage to Michael Jackson and the artist, and not the outside noise, the actual artist. Yeah, you want an impersonator more so for that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with it. I am. And we are being very positive. So I think we should start being a little negative too.
Okay.
All right. This does not look good, as in the actual look of it, right? When they did that stadium shot, holy CGI, holy visual effects. When you see Michael Jackson in his prime, 80s Michael Jackson, like I was like, who is that? I was absolutely shocked.
The
at,
literal look of
the
Michael
poor
Jackson.
Michael Jackson look that we all know did not look like Michael Jackson. There's clear CGI effects as well there. I don't know how. You just used makeup. The Miles Teller look, holy, what is that? What is that? Like there's this still that got released from the trailer. When you actually like look at the still, the picture of Miles Teller, I'm like, how could, if I was Miles Teller's camp, I would be like, take that down. Like,
Why are you doing this to him? Like after Top Gun Maverick, it's one of the best looking casts. You know, it's just like heartthrob after heartthrob, and then it's like the king of heartthrobs with Tom Cruise, and then you go to that image from the on his one shot in the trailer. His hair is just brutal.
Yes, insane. But like, there's also the still of like Michael Jackson in the Beat It video that looks so fake. Like, look at this.
Yeah, that looks fake.
It literally looks like AI
Or he
generated.
just doesn't look like Michael Jackson, even though he's related to him.
Yeah, and like even the studio picture of like this late 70s Michael.
That was the one. That was the one where he has like the mini afro going. The guy says like, make sure you're not dancing while make sure you aren't dancing in the studio when you're singing. That looked nothing like him in my opinion.
Yeah, the one that actually worked for me was the 90s Michael.
Yeah. Yeah. And they gave you a little bit of that. That one actually probably looked most like him. And I think that might be an issue if like this is going to be purely an impersonation rather than like a deep dive of a performance, like a character study. When he is wearing, you know, the curl and he's got the gel in his hair, he's got the glasses on, he's dressed up in Thriller. And then when he's on his tiptoes, he has the stage presence. I'm like, okay, that I'm buying you as Michael Jackson. But once he was in that studio and you have the close up on his face where you show him in like the bad video, I'm like, who was it? No, it's Thriller because he was wearing the red jacket.
Thriller.
When I saw that, I'm like, that looks nothing like him. But when he's on stage, I'm like, I'm buying it. So I guess I'm a little split in how I feel about the look right now.
And my last thing on this, or I have two more things. Speaking of looks, this poster is iconic. That is a good poster.
Mm-hmm.
The Michael, and it has the 4 stages. Young Michael, right before he's a superstar Michael, and then the 90s Michael, and all dancing and whatnot, all different, like the red jacket, obviously little Michael. Yeah, then you have like the hat and the black jacket around him dancing. Like that is a great poster, and it's just Michael on it. I thought that was really good.
The 4 stages, like I Want You Back, Little Michael, into Can't Stop, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, you know, right before he hits mega stardom, Red Jacket into Thriller, and then you have Man in the Mirror, you know, type of White Michael. I'm surprised they gave us like White Michael here because I don't know how far they're going to go with the timeline. Are they just going to go up to the early 90s and then they're going to stop there? Are they going to cut it before it gets to the really controversial stuff?
I think they're going to cut it. It looks like they're going to cut it.
I think they are too. And they show the attorney for Michael Jackson, played by Miles Teller, for half a second in this trailer. And it makes me wonder what role he's playing. Is it more going to be about his music that is going to be, you know, heading to court? Is like, what is the court case that's coming here? I don't know enough to know outside of like what was going down in the 90s to know what Miles Teller's role would be here. Is it like rights to his music type of thing, maybe?
I think it's a rights, literally inside the movie. It's the rights issue that Michael Jackson had in that period of time. I think that is the problem, or that is going to be the issue inside the movie, the conflict, because I don't think they're going to tackle any of the polarizing stuff.
They could do Social Network it, just like you've gotten back to like a court, like a court case, and it's nothing to do with like the most controversial things of his past.
And that wouldn't surprise me because Antoine Fuqua thinks he is better than who he is as a director.
Ooh.
He is. Come on. He always thinks he's going deeper into a story and meaning and whatnot. But on the face of it, it's just the equalizer. It's just the simple stuff. And that's what this movie should be. That's why I don't mind Antoine Fuqua here, where he's just going to feed us exactly what we want to see. And also, he's a guy with, like a lot of directors, with a history of connecting and actually doing music videos, right? He's worked with Usher. He's worked with Stevie Wonder. So he's actually does music videos for some of the biggest hip hop music icons on the planet, or ever, I should say. So he's actually a good person for this project, where this is going to be a surface level, just, hey, this is Michael Jackson as you knew him. We're going to give that to you on screen right now. That's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm going to give you the best concert you're going to see on a movie screen.
Says Michael Jackson had significant rights issues with his music, most notably his long-standing dispute with Sony over ownership and control of his music catalog, which involved accusations of unfair practices and sabotage. So that could be what we're looking at here. And Miles Teller and Coleman Domingo, it's like two really big name actors. Like Coleman Domingo, you see him, you know he's supremely talented. He's been nominated. He got nominated for Sing Sing last year, didn't he?
Yes.
So he was nominated.
I'll double check that, but yes.
So someone that is respected in terms of potential Oscar prowess. So when you saw him cast in this, you're like, oh, and it's like Michael Jackson's father, and knowing his relationship with his father, how he's managing the Jackson 5 and all that stuff. It seemed like a really juicy role, but he's in like even less of the trailer than Miles Teller, which was shocking to me. And Miles Teller's there for half a second. So this also goes into like Jafar Jackson playing Michael. Like it's the namesake of the movie. He's going to have significant screen time is what this told me. Like, it's like not really going to be a lot of Coleman Domingo. If anything, it's just going to be Coleman Domingo in the first stage of this movie. It's going to be like Miles Teller maybe sprinkled throughout. They have this court case that kind of is, like I said, like the Social Network court case of the movie, where it's like sporadically you're jumping in and you're looking at different phases of his life, different phases of his music. That would make sense if they structured the movie that way. Now I'm thinking about it. But I was just thinking, you have big names here, but they're not really shown, which just told me, like, is this potentially a breakout role for Jafar Jackson? I know we've already kind of talked about him, but I think it's a possibility if he really is, incredible.
I think this is, we have to remember this is a teaser trailer,
right?
Not an official trailer. So your goal here is just to gain interest, entice someone to go see this movie, or just, hey, maybe just like put this on your radar the next few months here as you're going to see all these movies in award season and blockbuster Christmas season and whatnot. Remember this movie coming out right after that. That's what the goal is, right? So you're going to show us Michael Jackson. You're going to show us these dance moves, the studio scenes. Give us 5 Michael Jackson songs. We have the rights to the actual music. Don't worry about that, right? But you're also only going to give us a tease of Coleman Domingo. You have to show him, even though it's a small part, but you only show one scene. You only show one scene of Miles Teller, because the point you have to drive home is that this is a Michael Jackson movie. The name is Michael. So for 1 minute teaser, we're lucky we got even anything from Miles Teller or Coleman Domingo.
Okay. I'm just disappointed that like it could be more in the movie, but I know you're just saying it's a teaser and everything, but you could have had, if you wanted to make this like an Oscar movie, you could have had the relationship of Michael Jackson and his father. You could have had a Jackson 5 and then him breaking away from a Jackson 5 and then Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, type of like ending of the movie, even though that's like a tease to Michael Jackson fans, because Thriller is right around the corner, but like to me that would have been like something you don't want to show. All the controversy happens later on, but this part of his life was really juicy as well, and it has enough music to kind of get you through the movie. I think that could have been like an interesting movie, but that's not what this is. When it said producer of Bohemian Rhapsody and it has April release date, to me they want to make so much money off of this movie. That's what it kind of felt like. And I looked at the highest grossing biopic of all time, music biopic, is obviously Bohemian Rhapsody. You know how much it earned, Ricky? Bohemian Rhapsody, do you remember?
Am I saying worldwide or domestic?
Worldwide.
Ooh, 800 million.
Over $900 million. $900 million. And that's Bohemian Rhapsody, and that was long awaited. It's Freddie Mercury. Could Michael, on Michael Jackson, the king of pop, make more money than Bohemian Rhapsody? Maybe. Honestly, maybe. And it's not like Bohemian Rhapsody had rave reviews from all critics. People said it was a fun time in the theater. I think people will be saying that after this. Are people going to be halted maybe by like the past of Michael Jackson that's not even depicted in the movie? Maybe, that's definitely a possibility too. But there's so many Michael Jackson fans. There are so many Michael Jackson fans that I honestly think it could overcome the people that hate him.
Potentially. I think it's interesting because when Coleman Domingo got cast in this, a guy that not only was nominated for Sing Sing last year, Best Leading Role, he was nominated the year before for Rustin in Best Leading Role. So he's back-to-back Oscar nominee, right? And he is a hot commodity, not only for that reason, but just because like he's in a little bit of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man playing Norman Osborn. Like he's been out there saying, "Oh, I'll play Kang." Like he is someone that not only he could do any type of movie. Is basically what I'm saying, right? He was in Candyman. So, but when you say Coleman Domingo, you're thinking, "Oh, this guy, he's been on this role, very beloved. This is an Oscars movie, right?"
Isn't that the Lion in Wicked too?
But you see, like, where if they wanted to do a Springsteen of not give us Born in the USA album, but right before it and have the Coleman Domingo show, yeah, they could have done that, but not with this director, not with this producer, and not with the subject in 2025 or 2026. I don't think that would have sold because everyone wants to see the slop. And that's how you're going to get someone like us there who we all watched Finding Neverland or whatever, Neverland. We all saw that doc and we all know the issues. I don't know if I would go out and support it unless they were going to just say, you're going to have fun at this movie.
Twitter doesn't mean much in terms of like box office because we're on movie Twitter and we see the amount of people engagement there is for like movies, and it doesn't always reflect box office. But like this trailer came out in one outlet that had it had over 100,000 likes on this trailer. Like it shows me like, and I look at replies of stuff about Michael Jackson. Like some people are definitely willing to put like the past behind them, right? Or his sketchy past aside, and they separate the art from the artist. But it's also, I'm looking at these numbers for music biopics. Bohemian Rhapsody is such an anomaly that because the next highest grossing one is Elvis, and that didn't even make $300 million worldwide, according to this outlet that I'm looking at now, or which would be Gemini. Yeah, so Elvis made not even 300 million. Bohemian Rhapsody made over 900 million. So I guess a safe estimate is that this makes, if I were to predict it, over $600 million. I think
that's safe worldwide. He was Queen, obviously international band. Michael, international presence.
Yeah, icon,
powerful. So I can see it. I see over 6. I think conservatively 6 is a good bet. It's also music biopic. Are we sick of them by now? That's another question, right?
But some people, I think if you throw the name Michael Jackson, like people are gonna go see it. And no offense to Bruce Springsteen, he's not even on close to the same level as Michael Jackson.
But here's right. No, but I would argue nobody is, right? And Bruce Springsteen should have made more than 8 million opening weekend domestically.
And they didn't make.
He was one of the big, besides Michael Jackson, who's the biggest musicians of the 80s. You could argue Bruce Springsteen is top 5, if not higher.
Yeah. Michael Jackson,
it's like for domestically, you couldn't even break 10 million domestically an opening weekend. That's bad.
We did for those who haven't listened to us routinely, we did along with Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere review, we previewed the upcoming music biopic slate. And we talked about Michael, but also Madonna. Madonna's coming out. I would say she might be top 5 in the 80s. But along with her, like if this Michael Jackson one does well, they got to make a Prince one. And the Prince one could be an Oscar play because it doesn't have the sketchy, 90s and 2000s that Michael Jackson did. But yeah, I would say Bruce Springsteen's up there, but they just didn't make as commercial of a movie. They did an awards play. And this one does not seem like, what people complain about. Like one of the things they complain about most is it's just is a lazy awards play. That's what kind of people view music biopics. I don't view that as this. This is more like we need a proper Michael Jackson biopic, and we're going to give you like some of the most iconic moments in pop music over the last 4 or 5 decades. That's what this one gives off.